ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 2 of our Bible reading. We're on, crap. Can you do me a favor? I should have done this. Can you shut that fan off? Just push the big button in the middle, and then shut that door. Okay, sorry. We started off the week with week 1 was Genesis. We read 1 through 3. So we are on week 2. We are on book chapter 4, and we'll go through a few chapters. But before we begin with the Bible reading section of this, I just realized my mic is muted. Yeah, so we're new to streaming. Get used to that. We're gonna have some kinks and stuff happen, but I'm trying to make it so that when Dylan's talking and doing stuff, his mic is on and mine is muted, so I forgot to unmute my mic, but it was still playing through this mic. I just had it over here. It was really quiet, but that's okay. So, before we begin the actual reading, though, Dylan here is a professional guitarist.
No, I wouldn't say professional. Don't even bring that up.
Oh.
Nope.
Why are we not saying you're professional?
Because I do this as a hobby.
Yeah, that's true. You don't get paid. So, but we're gonna start this off though with some Christian music.
Christian music, aka Christmas music.
But that's fine. That's fine. And take it away, Dylan.
All right.
Very nice.
Messed up a little bit, but we're good.
Well, if he hadn't said anything, nobody would have noticed.
Sure.
That's the beauty sometimes of playing music. The only people that are going to notice are other people that play the guitar. And even then, they'll probably be like, that wasn't, I didn't even notice. So, alright, with that, we will begin the Bible reading.
Alright, let me put the guitar down. Hopefully I can get it.
So, the way, here's your microphone, sir. Let me just make it so I'm able to hear both of us. All right. So, I think the way we'll do this week instead of switching off between each like we were doing like a couple of like verses each. We were passing it back and forth. I think the easiest way we'll do it is let's see, Genesis 4, then Genesis 5, Genesis 6. Yeah, because we read 1 through 3 last time. So let's do 4 through 7, and because they're pretty short. So I'll like
instead of passing it off verse by verse and stuff, we'll do like I'll read chapter 4, then you'll read chapter 5, then I'll read chapter 6, and then you'll read chapter 7, and then we'll call it for this week's reading. So, with that, we will begin with Genesis chapter 4. So the title of this is Cain Murders Abel. I don't know. Does yours have the chapter titles and stuff? I guess every book Bible is different. Some of them have the chapter titles. Some of them don't have chapter titles, and they just continue going. Interesting. But yeah. So Cain murders Abel. Maybe that just gives stuff away. If I read the chapter titles, maybe I won't read the chapter titles. Yeah. Spoiler alert. All right. So now Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I have acquired a man from the Lord. Then she bore again, this time his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord. Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat. Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and their fat. So what did he, like, kill them and, like, pull their fat out?
Sounds like it.
That's what that sounds like to me too. Interesting. I mean, that's the things that we're gonna get by reading the Bible. Yeah. So that's a blurry shot. We're gonna switch. I'm gonna have to fix the Bible shot because that was just all blur. I looked over and it was just all straight blur. All right, so yeah, we'll read that one more time. Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat. Now, here's a curious thing that I have. So I'm reading the New King James Version. So that is chapter 4, verse 4. How is it written? Which book are you written?
Very different.
Which
I have
which?
the KJV.
Okay, so you have the King James Version. I have the New King James Version. How is it written in your?
So it says.
Oh wait, let me.
Okay, go.
It says, and Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respected unto Abel and to his offering.
Huh. All right. I guess it's a little different. So, and the Lord respected Abel and his offering. So that's similar. That's pretty much the same. But he did not respect Cain and his offering. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. Oh, okay. So let's backtrack a little bit. And she bore this time Abel, and then the process of time came. So Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground. Wait. Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord, and Abel brought of the firstborn of his flock and their fat. So what? So the Lord respected the fact that he brought the firstborn of his flock and their fat, and he was angry with Cain for bringing the fruit of the ground. Interesting.
I don't think he was, Cain was the one who was angry.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Cain got upset because God didn't respect his offering.
Well, that's still.
Oh, what I meant is, but like, why didn't the Lord respect the fruit of the ground?
You know what I mean?
Maybe because Abel actually put heart into it. He put his soul into it. Like, he was like, here's the first flock. Like, the first actual, like, firstling, the firstborn of the flock. So that actually gave some type of meaning. Like, this is the first one. This is what started it all.
I guess we would have to backtrack and read yours too. How is verse 3 written? Does it say the fruit of the ground is what he brought?
Yeah, it says, and in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
Okay.
So, I guess that would, for my question for this early on, would be what would be considered the fruit of the ground.
Probably the seed. Maybe not the actual fruit. It's the seed itself.
Cain was a tiller of the ground. So Cain tilled the ground. So he was one of the people that
Um, planted. So I mean, that's still hard work and stuff too, like planting crops and stuff like that. Um, I don't know. I guess we're dwelling too much on that one little spot, but all right. So moving on. Now we're still in chapter 4. Uh, chapter 4, verse 6. So the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry?" I guess we should keep reading each chapter before before we start asking questions, because I feel like it's about to get answered.
It's gonna answer us, and we're just dwelling on
We're
it.
just like,
Why?
why? What does this
Why?
mean? We'll keep reading. We keep reading.
And all of our viewers are probably just like, keep reading. Keep reading.
All right. So the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should never, but you should rule over it. Its desire is for you, but you should rule over it." Now Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and killed him. That escalated quickly. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is Abel your brother?" He said, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" He said, and he said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. So now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond you shall be on the earth." And Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is greater than I can bear. Surely you've driven me out this day from the face of the ground. I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth. And it will happen that anyone who finds me will kill me." And the Lord said to him, "Therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold." And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest anyone finding him should kill him. So yours doesn't have a new chapter title. Next, it just goes on to verse 16.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I will just skip over the chapter title. For those of you that have the New King James Version, you know the title. Then Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. And he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. To Enoch was born Arad, and Arad begot Mehujael. Mehujael. We'll go with that. Mehujael. And Mehujael begot Methushael. And Methushael begot Lamech. Then Lamech took for himself 2 wives. The name of one was Ada, and the name of the second was Zillah. I am so glad that names are different nowadays, because I would have such a hard time being like, "Oh yeah, Mom, I'm going over to the Mithshul's house. We're going to play some games with Medjul and Ada." Yeah. And Ada bore Jabal. He was the father of those who dwell in tents and have livestock. His brother's name was Jabal. He was the father of all those who play the harp and the flute. And as for Zillah, she also bore Tubal Cain. Oh, so she kind of referenced, I guess that would be like a great-great-great-grandfather Um, she also bore Tubal Cain, an instructor of every craftsman in bronze and iron, and the sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah. Then Lamech said to his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice. Wives of Lamech, listen to my speech, for I have killed a man for wounding me. For I have killed a man for wounding me, even a young man for hurting me. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, then Lamech 70-fold. Here's a
Mine
new
says
title.
70 and sevenfold.
Huh. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, then Lamech 77-fold.
Yeah, mine
Oh.
says 70 and sevenfold.
Oh, it says mine's hyphenated. So yours says 70 and sevenfold?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting difference. Then Lamech 77-fold. I mean, I guess it's the same thing. They just.
It's an interesting reason for them to change it.
So here comes a new little title before chapter 5. But I'm going to skip it because it's not in Dylan's Bible. Just kidding. It's called The New Sun. So verse 25. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son and named him Seth. That's a pretty common name. I feel like we're finally at an age where they started calling them names that I recognize.
Seth.
Like Seth Rogen. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't know his name was biblical. I guess I did.
Technically,
But now, like, actually.
technically, if you think about it, if we're on Earth and God created Earth, we're all biblical.
No, that's true. I'm saying some names, though, don't appear in the Bible, but some do.
Oh.
Like, some people name their kids,
Joshua.
like, after biblical names.
Yeah.
Matthew.
Mark. Luke. John.
We could go through them all day. All right. So the last part of chapter 4. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son and named him Seth. For God has appointed another seed for me instead of Abel, whom Cain killed. And as for Seth, to him also a son was born, and he named him Enosh. Enoch and Enosh. So he changed the word by one letter. Then men began to call on the name of the Lord. So, and as for Seth, to him also a son was born, and he named him Enosh. Then men began to call on the name of the Lord. All right, so with that, we are going to be moving on to chapter 5.
All right. Chapter 5. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years, and begot Enos. And Seth lived after he begot Enos 807 years, and he begot sons and daughters. And begat sons and daughters. I can't read today.
That's fine.
I'm going to pause you right there real quick. That's one thing that I did notice about the Bible when I read through Genesis. I think I read through Genesis and Exodus like a couple months ago because I started rereading the Bible on my own, and that's when I decided that it would be kind of cool if we did this as a series on YouTube for anybody else that's like maybe rereading the Bible again after a long period of time or reading it for the first time. Back when I was younger, I read it, but when I was younger, my mind was like all over the place, so I wasn't really focusing much on, like I wasn't focused on it. It was more like I was skimming through it. Like I could read like 2 or 3 pages, look back and be like, oh, I don't even remember reading that. But I mean, even still, like, It's just weird the thought of who was it? Adam. Adam lived 130 years, and then Seth lived 105 years. Can you imagine if people lived that long, like to this day? And that's not even the extent of it. If I remember correctly, I mean we're jumping ahead a little bit, but like if I think Moses lived like longer than that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able
Like
to.
some of these people lived like a couple hundred years, if I remember. But anyways, sorry.
Alright, so we're on 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enos lived 90 years and begat Canaan. And Enos lived after he begat Canaan 815 years and begat sons and daughters. And all of the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years and begat Mahalaleel. And Canaan lived after he begot Mahalaleel 840 years and begat sons and daughters. And all of the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Mahalaleel lived 65 years and begat Jared. And Mahalaleel lived after he begat Jared 830 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Mahalaleel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and he begat Enoch. And Jared lived after he begat Enoch 800 years and begot sons and daughters.
What the heck? 800 years old?
Yep.
That's crazy.
And-
Sorry.
And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years and begat Methuselah. I don't know how to say that. Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years and begat sons and daughters. And all of the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took, and he was not. Okay, and Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years and begat sons and daughters. And all of the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. 960.
That's insane. That's insane.
960. And Lamech lived 182 years and begat a son, and he called his name Noah, saying this same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all of the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Japheth or Japheth? I don't know how to pronounce that.
I don't.
How to pronounce that either.
But now that concludes it to chapter 6.
All right. So now we are on chapter 6. The title is The Wickedness and Judgment of Man. Now it came to pass, when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. So the Lord said, I will destroy man who I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping thing, and birds of the air, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Now, before I continue with this one, I feel like that entire part of this chapter, like almost verbatim, describes like the times that we're even living in right now. I feel like if God isn't looking down on the state of the world right now and like just shaking his head, I would be very surprised. So, moving on. That's why I'm confused by why mine has these different like chapter titles, because it's not different chapters. It's just like we're in chapter 6. Anyways. Cuz this one's also now titled Noah Pleases God. So, now we're on verse 9. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was just a man, perfect in his generations. Noah walked with God, and Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Shem, Ham, and we'll say Japheth. The earth was also corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. Now it's called the ark prepared. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me. For the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood, make rooms in the ark, and cover it inside and outside with pitch. And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. You shall make a window for the ark, and you shall finish it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. You shall make it with lower, second, and third decks. And behold, I myself am bringing floodwaters on the earth, to destroy from under heaven all flesh in which is the breath of life. Everything that is on earth shall die. Wow. Imagine being told that. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall go into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you, and of every living thing of all flesh you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark. To keep them alive with you, they shall be male and female. Of the birds after their kind, of animals after their kind, and of every creeping thing of the earth after its kind. 2 of every kind will come to you to keep them alive. And you shall take for yourself of all food that is eaten, and you shall gather it for yourself, and it shall be food for you and for them. Thus Noah did, according to all that God commanded him. So he did. And now, with that brings us to the end of chapter 6. And the last chapter that we're going to read this week is chapter 7. So take it away, Dylan.
So chapter 7. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7s, the male and his female, and of the beasts that are not clean, by 2, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by 7s, the male and the female, to keep seeds alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wives, and his sons' wives with him, into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Of clean beasts, and of the beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth, There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. And in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all of the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heavens were opened. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And the selfsame day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wives, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all of the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh wherein is the breath of life, and they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all of the high hills that were under the whole heavens were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains after 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl, and of cattle, and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, all of that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days.
Wow,
That's scary. Imagine going through that.
that is pretty scary.
Even being Noah, knowing you're going to be safe, still having to go through that, knowing all of your friends back home, everything that's going on, and you know they're
Not
dead.
knowing what the outcome's gonna be too.
Well, no, he told you the outcome. He's killing everything.
Well, no, I know that, but like not necessarily knowing how long you're gonna be just like
Floating there.
stuck floating there out in the middle of nowhere. And now we're kind of jumping ahead for anybody that's already read this a little bit, but just a little bit of discussion this week. I mean, we can dive deeper into it next week too, but after the flood waters recede and Noah starts rebuilding and everything, that's where the rainbow and stuff came from, because God used that as a sign to say, I will never flood the
promise.
earth again.
Yep.
But that's not to say that he won't destroy us in another way, because again, backtracking to what I was saying earlier, like you look at the state of the world right now, and it's just, I don't want to get like political or anything like that on this, but I feel like nowadays it's kind of hard not to, like regardless of what you're talking about, to not get political, especially with the state of the world right now, and how just chaotic it is, how just divided we are, like all across the globe, like not even just here in the States, like. And it used to just be like simple division, like people just like kind of like we were talking about the other day, like how it was just like, to me when I was younger, how like the basic, like the difference between Republicans and Democrats, it was just like, oh, you know, one side wants more government, one side wants less government, and it was like, oh, okay, and people still kind of got along. But I mean, nowadays, just like worldwide, it's like everybody just wants to kill each other.
Yeah.
And everybody's just, people don't want to talk anymore. And I just reading stories like this in the Bible, like in Genesis, it's kind of scary too, when you stop and think about like the stuff that they were going through that angered God to the point where he was like, I'm just going to wipe everything out and start over. And then mirroring that to what's going on today with, you know, how many people just blatantly turn away from God and just, you know, don't want to even give it a chance, you know. I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's scary. Times are scary.
All right. Well, before we get too crazy with this conversation, I mean, maybe we could do that as another a different stream. We can go into like political type of things.
Yeah.
For this, though, we're just keeping it straight Bible. So thank you for joining us for this week. Sorry for skipping a couple weeks. The holidays kind of messed things up a little bit, but hopefully we're going to be back on track. We're going to try to keep this consistent with every Sunday, either at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock Eastern time. And next week we will be diving. We're still in Genesis, but we'll be diving into chapter 8.
Chapter 8.
And we'll see how long those chapters are. We might do the same thing and read through, 8 through 10 or something like that, or 8 through 11, something like that. But we'll play it by ear.
Yep.
See how it goes. So, thanks for joining us. And if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them through any of these streams. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.